Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us for Artsakh live Q&A series. The future of Artsakh depends on only one person, and that one person is you. With over 9,000 plus members in our Armenian Repatriates Network community, Repair Armenia has started this live series to spread awareness about the humanitarian support initiatives organized by our community members, as well as encouraging others to initiate or join efforts with them on the ground. Today, we are having Liliana and Monica, who are two Colombian sisters living in Armenia since 2017. They are working together with Let's Create a Smile Youth NGO. They are supporting displaced families from Artsakh in Yerevan and nearby cities and villages with care packages containing food with fresh vegetables and fruits, hygiene and cleaning products. They focus on talking to each family to understand the number of adults, children, and babies they are to create each package according to the family needs. The objectives of this series has been the introduction of some of the repats and expats leaders that with their own initiatives manage to support Artsakh victims through a series of diverse activities. These are very important initiatives that have been made from the back front, which is very much needed in these times. We encourage people to provide bigger support to these leaders so their activities can continue and help even more people. Hello, Liliana and Monica. Please introduce yourselves.
Hello. Hello. Well, I'm Liliana. As Florencia mentioned, we are from Colombia and we live in Armenia. I've been living in Armenia almost 4 years in January. I work here in a software company and that's what I do.
I am Monica. I have been in Armenia for already 5 years, and I am a dance teacher here. I teach salsa and Latin dances in Armenia.
Okay, guys, thank you very much for joining us and sharing with you this whole experience. So tell us a little bit about your project. How are you working with? How did it started?
We are working together with Let's Create Smile NGO, which is an NGO that has been working with children with disabilities and children with social conditions not so good for like since 2006. When one of our friends who is originally from Artsakh, on the first day of war, we were talking and she told us like what is happening and how her family have to come to Yerevan so fast without anything. And then she said, like, can you imagine if my family had to do that? How many other families that don't have anyone here are doing the same? What can we do to help them? Her name is Nana Hofanisian, and she was like the person who connect us all together with the NGO, us and expats, a group of friends working together. And that's how everything started. Like one person from our side having those issues and wondering what the other families are doing and what could we do together to help them. And that was like the first day, basically sitting, who do we contact? What do we do? What can we do? And that's what became what we are doing today.
And since then, we have been connecting families almost every day, trying to understand what do they need now when they are arriving, especially regarding with food, hygiene, and cleaning supplies, and trying to support as many families as we can.
Okay, so basically you're gathering all these products and take them into the family. So how do you get all these products?
Everything is based on donations. We don't have any support for any big foundation or any other international NGO. The first 2 days basically was money from our pockets, friends, the group of friends, everyone collecting. Then we started to use social media to reach our network, and many of our friends' social media network started to be interested and also supporting. And we continue doing that labor. Basically, we'll post on Facebook, on Instagram, what we need. We reach out personally to people we know they may help. And we are just based on donations. When we receive money donations, we buy Armenian products. We try to buy as much as possible to support the local industry. And when we receive in-kind donations, then we added them to the packages.
So tell us a little bit, what are both your tasks? What are you doing, Lilo? What is more of your part in this project, Moni?
Okay, my part is more like in the ground itself. I am working every day with the volunteers, actually in the process of calls, packaging, and delivering to the families. So it's more like the logistic part of every day, the operations. So, and of course, keeping all the volunteers busy, that is one of the hardest parts also, because we always feel that we need more hands and there is not enough, that we want to do more. So this is what I do.
I work mostly in the, let's say, in the back end, in the administrative part, creating reports, controlling, having control of everything that we receive regarding money donations, in-kind donations, expenses, social media, posting as much as I can, calling the different supporters or potential supporters to help us, and everything that I can do in English, because sadly I don't speak Armenian, but we have an amazing team of volunteers that speak Armenian, and they are like helping us hand to hand to reach out to all Armenian speakers.
Of course. So then you started with your friend to support this initiative and starting with. So tell us a little bit. So you started helping some families, So how did you grow and how did you get to know more families? Tell us a little bit about that process you've been involved in.
Actually, there were so many families in need during the first days that we just needed to reach some of them. And then they were calling us. It's like they also talked between them. They were like, there is this organization helping. So there was a point that they were calling us for help, asking for help. So yeah, everything started with our friend Nana and with her network, with all the people that she knew in Artsakh. And eventually that is like grew up a lot faster than we were actually ready for at the beginning.
Also, when everything started, there were many Facebook groups that started at the same time within the Artsakh people, Goris people, Yerevan and Nana as our local, also from Artsakh. She joined those groups, and in those groups were like help or support. So where people who was offering help, there are still exist, where anyone who is offering help to a post, anyone that is in need or knows someone that is in need, they also post there. So when Nana was looking, there is a family, so she was taking the phone number, we're calling them our end to understand what they needed. So we not only use the network, but also use social media as the way to contact families.
Of course, yeah, contacts here are so good, but the social media has been incredible and very useful for all the initiatives that are taking part right now. So I want to tell people, please, if you want to make a questions to these lovely girls, feel free to do it, and please share this so more people can also see what they are telling us. So did you think you were gonna reach so many families? How many families are you actually helping? And then did you thought you were going to give much help to all those families when you started?
Yeah, I think nobody knew that was going to last so long. I mean, everyone thought, yes, we're gonna win 2 days, but the things are getting longer and more families were coming. So really, we were not ready or were prepared to just collate as it's happening. But I think organizing and having an amazing team of friends and volunteers made it possible. Yesterday, we helped 940 families. The families can be from 2 to 15, 20 people in the same group, being a total of 6,400 plus people since September 29 that we started the deliveries.
So, do you have direct contact with this family? Have you met them? Have you seen their needs? Tell us a little bit more about what's the connection with you guys and the families you are helping.
Monica can tell more.
Well, actually, we don't have contact directly with them. It's mainly our other volunteers on the team. especially the ones who speak Armenian or even such accent language. But we had the chance to deliver to some families and have that directly contact with them. And they are very grateful for what we are doing. And it's kind of in those moments is that you feel that doesn't matter how hardworking what we have, how stressful it can be, like they appreciate it and we need to keep doing it. However, for me personally, I was like, I am not emotionally ready to see so many families directly. So we decided to basically work in the other side of the process.
Yeah, we have sometimes contact, even in Armenia, they contact us via messenger, like, oh, hi, we know that you're working. We have this Google has this option auto translate, so I'm just sending like, hello, Bareb says, yes, Liliana, I am, and like trying to understand what they need, collecting their phone number, pass it to our team members that are doing the calls. The good thing is like they always send us a message when they receive the products. We receive always or video or audio or message just thinking and blessing, and it's just, I think that pays off all the effort, all the hard work, everything, because to see that we are being part of them being better, or feeling better when everything it seems to be so dark, it's so rewarding. It's just too much. It's always good.
Of course, it's so much true that people here are very warm. They're very appreciative of all the help everyone's giving. And well, as you said, and as you can see, the people from here are so strong. And I think that's what's making everyone still fight and go forward, even though these times are very difficult. For sure. So tell us a little bit about each week. How do you organize? What do you need? What do you need more now in this moment? What are the things you are needing for the weekend? So people maybe that they want to contribute, they really know what is needed in this moment.
Yeah. One of the things that maybe we can say at the beginning, we were accepting donations of all kinds, like bring us whatever you can bring. Then we understood that if we want to be fair with the families, distributing like the same amount or not like products, the same type of products, not like sending a super good brand to the one family and sending a very not so good brand to the other family. We understood that if we buy the products locally, we can make sure that everyone is having like a standardized sizes. And so if it's a family of 5, we send this amount. If it's a family of 10, we send this different amount. So saying that, we understood that receiving monetary donations is going to be easier in terms that we can negotiate really good prices for the products we buy, and also we can standardize better our packages. When we ask for in-kind donations, the type of donations that are very standard are diapers. We are always accepting diapers. Every family has a baby that needs diapers, especially in sizes 5 and 6. So diapers are always in need, besides coats and blankets, because winter is coming, it's getting colder, and they need some of these kind of items.
However, we have created like a list of products that we need either for food, for hygiene, for cleaning. When we actually specify which products, how many of those products do we need per day. So when someone tells us that they want to donate, we sometimes or send a list and we give them the chance to bring those specific products themselves or to donate money and we will purchase them directly.
So if anyone wants to reach to you and help you, how could this be possible?
There are 2 different ways. One, they always can contact us via Messenger or via the NGO page. If in English, they can contact us directly, Monica or Liliana. We're gonna be sending the list if they wanna be like, we have people from overseas that wants to buy directly. So normally they buy supermarket.am or Carrefour online. So we send the list of the type of products we need. They choose what they want to send. They can buy it online, deliver in our office. If they prefer to send us the money, we have some bank accounts or some like PayPal, TransferWise ways to send the money, and then we take it and we go to buy in the supermarkets. And if they are located in Armenia, they are always welcome to visit us in the office, even volunteer, bring the products, they help a little bit if they feel like doing it. And other way that we like help, it's drivers, like volunteers for driving, because the deliveries are done by also friends and contacts, all volunteers.
Okay, so this is a very important fact that you're mentioning, because I think I've never heard it before in one of these interviews, that people that are from abroad and directly want to contribute with products, they can order these products in the supermarket and send it to these girls, so then they can be displaced to the family. It's very important, and thank you for mentioning it, because sometimes people like don't know these possibilities actually exist, and we have to continuously remind people of them.
You know, that what is interesting is I can be from everywhere. Like we have people from Bolivia, from France, from US, buying online and sending to us. So when people say like we are too far, it's like there is no border. There is always a way.
So the other day I went to see and to interview these girls and how the organization is working, and I have seen something that is very important, and I want them to explain it a little bit more. So as we mentioned before, the new organizations or the people who want to initiate their own initiatives learn about this. So they actually have a very, very good and efficient organization on all the things they are doing, such as the volunteers they counting with, or how to they displace the food. So tell us a little bit more about the logistics on the organizations that make this even more effective than maybe without an organization.
That is something very interesting, because we didn't have much experience when we started specifically in this job. So our first days were not as organized as we have it now. We was a bit of panic. Let's try to do whatever we can. Okay, get products. Oh, someone group by group. So everything was a panic. We were packing accordingly to what we had. But then we understood, like when we saw that the things were not finishing as soon as we were expected, like, okay, well, we need to organize this if we want to be able to keep doing this as long as it's needed. So yes, we decided to organize it as if it was a company. Like you have the departments, you have the people who are in charge of a specific tasks, and it's what we have done. We have stations for food, a station for fresh fruit and vegetables, a station for hygiene and cleaning, and we have our volunteers who comes every day to work certain hours. They know what they are doing. We have a list of rules how to pack accordingly to the number of people, babies, kids, grandpas, and in that way we organize the processes a lot. And what we were doing before in 12 hours a day, now we are able to do in 4 or 5 hours per day.
Yeah, and when we talk about processes, the processes start like the whole flow. Start we receive the phone calls of messages via messenger or referral for someone else. We have 2 girls that are helping us calling. They even make fun because they say we don't have phone anymore because this personal phone number became the NGO phone number. So we need to give them a new SIM card. So they are taking the phone calls. They register everything in a Google sheet, the number, the name of the mother or the contact. We've got all the information about how many adults, how many children, how many boys, girls, to each ages. And then we go also the needs, the standard needs, hygiene, cleaning, food, the 3 of them, 2 of them. With that, it passes to the packing department that we call, that is Monica, where she organized with all the volunteers the number. Okay, this family has 5 people, 2 kids, 1 newborn, what they need to pack. They do the packing, we do the calls, everything before the packing team arrives. So when the packing team arrives, we already have all the families divided by destination. Like in the center, we have to deliver this, in this village, we have to deliver this. So it's done in advance. And Monica comes organize all the packing. Then when they finish the packing, we start delivering. So that way we all can organize, like work very organized and more effective than everyone doing everything at the same time. And the other administrative team keeps on social media, on calling everyone, finding donations, finding money, and we don't mess with everything that the packing and delivery team they are doing. We respect them and we do our work on the other side.
That's so impressive, guys. I think it's something people should really take as an example, not only now, but as for their lives, right? Because it's so important, the organization of someone to create more effective results. I think you guys are showing it so good, and it's very helpful for helping even more people. So now we are having some questions from the people. So Cero Jovanes Casabian wants to ask, if we do want to donate directly, how can we do so? I think you have explained it a little bit, but please remind us again.
If they want to bring products in kind that we call products, they can deliver it to our office and near the Bean Hotel. We can share the address. It's 70/3 Solar Street, floor 4. They can deliver there. If they want to do a bank transfer or any monetary donation, they can or do bank transfer cash or transfer wise or PayPal if they are abroad. And or they can send the supermarket online purchase to our address.
Okay, I think that was very clear. Anything that even if you have more questions, then you can contact them in social media. As they say, these girls are very open to every help that wants to be given. They're very open to it. So another question from Mariana, our colleague, is: Dear Liliana and Monica, did you get financial support from your friends from Colombia? Were they eager to support your initiative?
That's a very interesting question. We have some help from our family. They sent us via PayPal some support. Sadly, in Colombia, we're having other situations around our circle, our network, that require also some donations. So we didn't push them too much, understanding what they're passing through. But I lived in Brazil for 7 years. So Brazil is like my second home, and many of my friends together, they were willing. They were asking, okay, how can we help you? What can we do? So we have some group of Brazilian Armenians that we met here during this volunteer. We said one day, okay, what can we do to facilitate the Brazilians to send us money? Because we know that the economy is very hard right now there. And doing the dollar transfer is like super expensive. So now we have a special fundraiser in Brazilian reals, local, so they can contribute. And our friends from Brazil are now non-Armenians. They are contributing to that fundraiser, and we are waiting to collect a little bit more to transfer the money to Armenia. So I have to thank our Armenian Brazilian friends for creating and making the channel. So now we distribute it to our non-Armenian friends to help us support.
And thankfully, not just only from Brazil, actually we have contact from people from Europe that they are actually non-Armenians, but they see what is happening and and they're always asking, like, what can we do to help? And in that moment, we just explaining about the donations. I think every person, every human is ready to just help civilians, help families. That's another nationality. And we feel that from a lot of our friends abroad.
Even our colleagues from work, I work for an American company. Their main offices are in the US, and they've been supporting us too. It's really beautiful.
Yes, I think that's so impressive, guys. I think one of the things I'm most inspired by is that the help that comes from non-Armenian people. For those who don't know, Liliana and Moni, they are not Armenian as nation. They're Colombians, but they came here. They are contributing to our society, to our economy, and actually they started also this initiative, and they're giving so much support. And this is an example. It has to go to the whole world, because as we mentioned before in another talk, this causes is now affecting us, but the rest of the world is included. We are all human beings, we all have to defend our rights, and that you are conscious about this and actually involving directly to yourself and people that are abroad but also are not Armenian is something very valuable, and that, well, in my case, and I think everyone wants to congratulate you on behalf of all this work you've been doing, and it's an empathy so big, and that's what we are asking for right now, you know, empathy of the international community. So thank you for being here. Thank you for all that you're doing, because it's great and a very great example of the empathy the rest of the world should have. Armenians too, whenever something happens to the world, it's happening to all of us. So we have some greetings from Bogotá, Colombia. Gracias a todos que están haciendo, gracias a todos que están haciendo para Armenia Artsakh. So this in English should be greetings from Bogotá, Colombia. Thanks because of everything you're doing for Armenia and Artsakh. So
when people say thank you, we are like, I'm like, this is not something to thank. It's our duty. We are residents of Armenia. Our friends are Armenian. Our home is Armenia. We have to do it. There is no way we don't do something to help the country we live in. So thanks for supporting us.
No, please, like it's actually it's really amazing, and I'm happy, as I believe the same as you. You know, we are here, but you can support whatever you want. It doesn't matter if you're Armenian, you're not Armenian. People are suffering, and that should be a concern of everyone. So thank you for spreading this message that is very important. And again, thank you for doing everything. So I'm doubting now, you both are residents here, or you have been living here for a few years, so you have your own jobs, your own private life. So how are you managing to keep on with your jobs and at the same time working with the NGO and doing all this big work you have been doing until now?
Well, we have in that case two very different stories. Yeah. So I work in a software company. It's an American software company with offices in Armenia. I have a very amazing team in Armenia too. But the company in America is non-Armenians. And when everything started, I talked to my managers and I say, hey, I need time. And they were super open. They said, Liliana, do what you have to do. We will help you with your customers. So in the time, so we thought it was going to be 1 week. After like 2 weeks, I came back to my work and doing like all that I have to do. It's remote where I work from home. So everything I have to do from home. And then the mornings at night, I spend it helping the volunteering. So I divided my time within keeping my customers all with no issues, everything working well, and also keeping the volunteering going nonstop.
Well, in my case, it's a bit different because I have a dance school. And with everything that happened, that included COVID, and then included the war, I basically decided to just stop my school and focus full time in volunteering. That I thought that was more important in this moment than actually just dancing.
No, like it's great. It's so impressive that you have done that. You know, well, the first your job, Lilo, when they are giving you time to volunteer, also it's amazing. And you that you have put everything apart to contribute to this is actually very impressive, and something that is much needed now, not only from here but from the home community. This is the moment to stand up for Armenia and to really come and help, because the ones who we are here, we understand this is happening, and the ones who are helping from abroad also understand. But I think the next step for everyone is, okay, come here to Armenia, help build everything. It's very important. So we already talked about how diaspora can support. They can always contact you, and how so what they can do, what they can help of. So you're getting this all help from the diaspora. And how do you feel? What is the comments of all these people from the diaspora, Armenian people? What are they telling you when they realize, okay, you're not Armenian? Do you feel some difference? Do you feel it matters, or how do you feel about that?
Yeah, I'm really surprised. It's like how, like sometimes they you're Colombian, Armenian. Like no, we are in Colombia, 100%. They're like, wow, how are you doing this? And it's kind of like surprising for everyone that realize that we are don't have any Armenian descent or Armenian background. But at the end, everyone has the same goal. It doesn't matter you're Armenian or Armenian, we want to help and they want to help. So at the end, it's the same goal. It's helping the families and helping everyone that is affected by the war.
So how do you think all this project of you has influenced on all these people, not only the ones who are working with you and join your team, but also to the families you're giving the real help to?
From one side, we learned a lot from this experience, and we are not talking just about the processes, but actually about the information, the reality of what happens. When you have actually contact to the families, you learn things that probably otherwise you don't. So, and being able to actually also share that with people that maybe will not get that information, it was not because of us, our network. That's actually one of the things that we learned is the power of one person. When one person, one individual wants to do something, they can do so much. It's just willing. We didn't know that we could do that much. We had no idea. We were just like, yeah, we're gonna help, we're gonna contact our families abroad, we're gonna talk to people, but we never thought that, we never thought we're gonna reach so many people and we're gonna touch and they're gonna support us as they are doing.
Well, that talks of you as a person, as how you are, because people actually trust you, and so this is because of something probably. So we're having other Spanish comments. Felicitaciones from Alicia Pramian. She's from Yerevan. I know her. She's actually my mother, so.
También nos puede contactar en español.
You can
So
also
everyone who speaks Spanish can contact us as well. So Spanish, Portuguese, in Russian. So the language is not the barrier. We don't need to speak Armenian to actually help the country.
So true. So, and these girls, they're multilingual. They're Russian, Portuguese, Spanish, English. So now Armenian, you know, Armenian translator and explanation before. No, it's actually very interesting. Also, when you have a lot of, you know, different people from all over the world, I think it sums, and also in some way not only helping directly by giving this package to the families, but also you're spreading the word through the whole world, and that's also as much as important. You know?
I want to add on that. There is one question my colleagues in US were in, and they asked me, okay, Lilo, what else do you need? It's money. And I always tell them, we need you to read, to be informed, and to share the information with your network. With 2, 3, 4 people, you talk about the situation in Armenia, that 2, 3 people will talk to other 2, 3 people, and people will be aware about what is happening. Most of them, I'm always asking, are you checking the news? Do you listen about it? They say, no, we are not listening anything, especially in Latin America. It's very, very poor the information about what is happening in Armenia, and the news are a little bit tangent. We cannot say like the reasons we don't know. But so what we do is we share resources that we know are reliable, like the Unified Info Center. We share the links with them so they can read about what is happening in Armenian. Sometimes I send the translations of what is written so they can read it in Spanish or in Portuguese, because the information is not getting to them. Most of them, they don't know about the conflict unless because we reach them and we say, hey, can you help us? Like, about what? This is happening in Armenia. We didn't know.
Information of what is happening very superficial, like, oh, it's just a little conflict there, like nothing is happening. The people actually don't understand the reality of what is going on.
Yeah.
And also sometimes they can't find good information in their languages.
Mm-hmm.
And that is something that is very good, that I see a lot of people is working on that now, but is needed even more. More information in all languages.
Especially in Spanish and Portuguese, the information is not much, and the one that is like in the social media of the people, it's not really supportive to Armenia. So we would like to call the society and everyone who speaks Spanish and Portuguese to help us having more articles and more information in other languages that we can also share with our network.
That's so much true. It's very important for first, like how this is a very big conflict, and some countries and some media are not taking it as it is. That is very preoccupating, and also that, for example, I believe in my case, I'm from Uruguay, so I believe there's a big community there. They are spreading the word. They are doing many big activities to make sound, to make themselves being heard. So as the parliament or someone do something, but on those places who maybe don't have a very big community, maybe this is not having the real matter and importance that should have. So yes, we're having another question from Mariana, and it's, girls, what difficulties did you first have in setting up your initiative, raising funds, organizing logistics, networking, or anything else? And are there any problems that you are facing right now?
Yeah, one of the problems that we are still facing a little bit is the difficulty on receiving money from abroad. We live in Armenia, so we don't have bank accounts in Europe or US, like some repats are Canadians or American. We have only Armenian bank account. So when people wanted to send money, they go, why don't you open a fundraiser? When we were trying to open the fundraiser, any of those fundraiser pages accept the bank accounts, Indian bank accounts to transfer the money to. So one of the difficulties, and we are still working on that, it's how to make it better so we don't lose so much money on the transfers when people is donating for abroad. So right now we are trying to look for other ways to do it, but that has been our biggest challenge. Because we are trying to reach our international network, but it's been very hard to transfer money to Armenia.
I think
that's our biggest challenge.
It's a challenge you are having, and a lot of people are having. Maybe now it's this issue, but people are donating money all over the world since a lot of years. Maybe the parliament or the legislature from all the countries should make like a possibility to make all these donation extent of taxes or any impediment that makes this difficult. What the help is directly and of humanitarian support, let's say. This is something we should all have in count. Maybe
like with the banks, because I understand some platforms, they cannot have good negotiations with the local banks to do the transfer. So if the banks also kind of be more flexible with the platform, so it's possible for us to do fundraiser or transfer money.
Banks be flexible. Well, like commerce, the economy, the commercial sector, the business sector is always very complicated, but we have to learn from here that this has to be a little bit more sensitive and open, mostly when these things happen. Now we are facing all this support for when it's happening now, but then the support is going to be here also to rebuild Artsakh. So maybe someone should put that in his shoulder and actually work with that to prevent a problem in the future. So guys, how are you're working with different volunteers every week, right? So how are you contacting them? How are you reaching the people who are working with you as volunteers?
Of course, our first group of volunteers were friends or the friends of our friends. Like everything, it works through networking. So we had a lot of friends that they called their friends, and like that, we gathered a group of people. But of course, the difficulty was actually to have volunteers who can regularly work with us. Eventually, the people needed to go to their studies, to work. So is why we still, if someone has the possibility to volunteer regularly, we are very happy to receive that help. And thankfully, we have a lot of also expats or repats who are volunteering with us because they had a bit more of flexibility of time with their time. And that has been very useful for us as well. But volunteers, we always are receiving some extra hands.
Yeah, we need to
Yeah.
And we also need to thank Repat Armenia community because we are posting and we always receive some feedback or we always receive support from them. And also the expat in Armenia group on Facebook. We always do posts and sometimes some expats like Philippines, the Americans that are not Armenians are living here in Yerevan. They are supporting us too. So thank you to those two big channels.
Yeah, actually, I should say that maybe Lilo and me, we're two expats in Armenia, but there are actually a lot of expats doing a lot. Maybe it's not as visible as what we're doing, but they are all trying to help their home that is Armenian. Yeah.
That's very important. Yeah, I knew the expat community is quite big, and it's great. I think that not only now but in general that the world is open to know Armenia, to start supporting Armenia and, and work from Armenia. That is such a very nice country. Well, you should know that because you decided to stay here. And also, I think it's very enrichment for the country, you know, because having this cultural exchange, I think it's make us better and more wiser as people, but also it supports the country and makes it more rich in how it's having different cultures developing, right? So we have talked about logistics, organization, everything that is important. But guys, tell us how did this experience is affecting you personally? That I imagine it must be very strong feelings for you.
Yeah. For me, I have a special case. My boyfriend is a doctor in the army. He's currently in Artsakh. So it touched me very personal, like to have someone right now in the other side. And so affecting personally my life, my work, they are so flexible on allowing me, but still you have these worries. And even if you're focusing a lot to do your job, like the work that you have every day and doing the volunteering, it sometimes takes a lot of energy because you need to be professional in both sides. And just, yeah, it's just hard personally. Sometimes it drains a lot of our energy, but we take a break or we receive the phone calls for our loved ones and they push us up and we continue.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like some people may think that maybe because we are expats, we don't feel as much as Armenians do, but we do. Like our friends are there, people we know are there, the family members of some of our close friends are there. So we feel it very personal. So for us, it's also very hard to know everything that happens and to think about the future and what is going to happen. And it's why we find that motivation, because it's personal for us.
And one of the things that, like when we are so much in contact with non-Armenians and when we are talking about the problem, it's so frustrating when you see that they are like, whatever. It's like, no, whatever. What do you mean, whatever? I mean, no. It's just, it's so frustrating for us that we are spreading like what is happening and sometimes people is just like not caring. And that's really, we don't understand. I mean, and I believe nobody can understand because it's really frustrating.
Yeah, I think this is an issue many of us are feeling and are sensing. I'm living it as well. As we talked before, empathy is something we humans have to live with on a daily basis. It's something we shouldn't take away with. I mean, no matter you're Armenian or not Armenian, people is getting killed, we are being attacked. Of course you're going to be sensible about that. Moreover, you know Armenian or non-Armenian people because we are human beings, and if we are violated in our basic human rights, it has to be like control, you know, banned and have their own limitations and stop it. I think that's important. And yeah, you know, sometimes people have their own needs and their own beliefs in their own countries, but the international community should make a stop and start analyzing, okay, what's happening in the world, sharing or doing whatever they can. So yes, I think that's a very important thing to do. So guys, anyone has any question or you guys want to add something else to this very nice talk we have, please feel free to add anything you want.
Yeah, I would like to thank there are so many companies that been also supporting us in giving us some in-kind donations. We have companies, especially there is a company called Artsakh that we really want to thank. They are Armenians. It's a tour and event agency. Because of the situation in the tourists, they are not working in their office. So basically, the office that we're using is their office. So they provide us the space, and they are also giving monthly like toilet paper and some products every week for us to keep up. So we have to thank, like, we have no word to thank them, Active Group and the family Gasparian for helping us. It's just, they are amazing. And we also have some other supporters, friends. Thank you so much. I mean, and some of them are not helping just one time. Some of them last month they helped, this month they help. They keep asking us what to help. So thank you so much. And it's just, we are nothing without all this network, all the support that we are receiving. So we have this company called Kuba Matushka. It's a brand from Russia. They sent us 20 tons of food, dry food. Thank you so much. Thank you, because it's just helping us a lot to keep up the work we are doing. And Yandex Taxi also help us a lot with delivering to the families. So we call them and they don't charge us. Thank you so much. I mean, and there are so many other companies that we would like to mention, but it's a big list. But those are the ones.
And also something else that I would like to mention is, like, really everyone can help with their own situations, with the tools they have, with the knowledge they have. Like, okay, maybe you are busy all day working, but you have a car. You can deliver packages to a family. Okay, I have some extra time during the weekend. You can volunteer. Maybe you are too busy and you cannot actually put your hands there, but you can donate. I mean, this is only with us. We are not the only organizations that are needing help. So just everyone help. You can do it.
Exactly. Everyone here from the diaspora, you all can help. And please don't be, they're very humble. I mean, there are other, this organization are helping you, but if you wouldn't do this with Let's Create a Smile Youth NGO, you know, this is a very big and huge thing you're doing. So because you are actually working and creating all of this, is that the businesses are giving that help. So well, I think on behalf of the whole community, Armenian, non-Armenian, I want to thank you, you guys, for all the work you have been doing. It's very impressive. You really understand the matter, and I believe, we have the same way of thinking as, okay, we are all persons, this all concern us, to all of us. So people that are hearing and will hear in the future, because Ripa is posting this, you can see it. If you couldn't see it now, you can see it again also. Thank you for joining us. We hope you like it, and remind you, as the girls said, you can support the girls and Let's Create a Smile Youth NGO initiative. Contact them directly or another foundation. So the idea now is to help, how they said, on whatever means you can. And nothing. Thank you very much again for joining. Thank you, girls, for being so supportive to the whole community. And I don't know, for me, you are also Armenians. It's something not only on the blood, it's something you take in the heart. I've been with a lot of people that helped and did so much for the Armenian community that they were not, or mother or father Armenian. So I feel you are Armenian too, from the heart, and that's what is important, guys.
We are Armenia in our heart, so we are here. We are Armenians. So that's what we think.
Shout out for all the job you've done. So let's see you next Ripa Talk. Thank you guys again, and thank you everyone for joining us.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.